Okay, Bob, it says that we are recording, but we're going to be doing this on the new Meet the Voter format. Now it says we are live, so we're going to be doing this on the new Meet the Voter format. And the system is, I do a little editing, so on and so forth. So a couple seconds of silence and we're ready to go. Hey, welcome to Meet the Voter, meetthevoter.com. We are back. This is a historic time in history. Last week, actually it was Friday, and today is Sunday. Basically, the director of the FBI said that Hillary Clinton, they're reopening the investigation into Hillary Clinton's handling of classified and top secret email. And it's reopened. What do you think, Bob? Bob Phelan is coming to us from the Republican side. Conservative Republican side is that. We're going to talk a few people
today. I'm coming to you from the right side. I'm coming to you from the American side. The one who believes in putting America first and making America great again. I'm coming from that side, the side that hasn't sold out our country to the highest bidder, the side that doesn't work for that Clinton Incorporated and basically put $250 million into their own little bank accounts. And they haven't produced one widget or anything. But what they've done is they sold access. And they should have nowhere near the White House. And I'm just glad that Comey came out and actually said that we're reopening this investigation. I believe he had to, because if there is criminal activity, and I believe they had enough information right off the bat, but with all these WikiLeaks dumps and everything else that's coming out, and more proof of information of fixing the elections, of trying to steal votes, of bringing people in, the Project Veritas, where they talked about how, for the last 50 years, Democrats have been busting people in and stealing elections fair and square. It's about time people actually really realize how corrupt the Democrat Party is, and anyone that supports the Democrat Party is part of that corruption.
Yeah, so, well, Hillary Clinton, of course, what are you hearing from other Republicans specifically about Hillary Clinton and her chances to win? I mean, a week ago, it looked like she had the election in the bag.
Well, they've been going with these polls that they've purposely made them jaded. And, to me, I don't go by national polls. It's going to come down to the states. Republicans are going to be able to, which, of course, Democrats say doesn't happen because it doesn't happen impacting them. But again, with this Project Veritas, when you had people talking about the fact how they have, for the last 50 years, bust people in, how they have at Republican rallies, Donald Trump rallies, put people in there, mentally ill people and people they paid for to create violence, to try to give the impression that the Republicans are the violent ones. Well, it's all been staged. It's all been Democrat manipulation of people's minds. And the polls being basically just another part of that, with the mainstream media, 94% supporting Hillary Clinton. And we're surprised that that people gave her a 2-point or 3-point lead in the polls. It's amazing Donald Trump is even within reach of that. He should be destroyed by now.
Well, of course, the FBI director has stated that they've opened up that investigation, and that if she's brought to trial and found guilty, that she can't hold the seat of the president of the United States because of violations.
Now Hillary comes out and says, let's get out all the information. Well, Hillary, what all information are you talking about? Because you said a year and a half ago, you turned over all work-related emails, and he found out that there were tens of thousands of emails that you did not turn over. And he found that there was sensitive information on those emails, and that other people had access to them. And people, even the guy who's doing your computer programming, does not have security clearance to look at those emails. That's all emails are coming right through him.
Right.
So, complete dereliction of duty, selling access to our nation's secrets. And I'm sorry, she has no business being anywhere near the White House. But they say we're a banana republic right now, the way we're acting, and I'm going to get Chiquita stamped on my forehead because we're there, baby.
Yeah, this is definitely a unique election, that's for sure. We've talked about it, Meet the Voter, as it evolved. We saw the Hillary basically have the go-ahead to run when she was not indicted and not recommended for being indicted to the Attorney General. We've seen the Attorney General meet with her husband, excuse me,
on the tarmac, right?
And we've seen the Clinton we've seen WikiLeaks come out with a lot of damning information, but she seems to be surviving. Now, this hit on Friday looked catastrophic on Friday. How's it going to look Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday?
Well, I mean, she's asking for all the emails to be released. Well, one person has all the emails and to release them at any moment, and that's Hillary Clinton. The press has been propping her up, going after the supposed scandals of Donald Trump from 20, 30 years ago, when for the last 30 years, Donald Trump has been a wonderful guy until he decides to take on the Democrat Party. Then all of a sudden, he's a racist, sexist, homophobe pig, and he's every worst thing in the world could be out there. But up until this election, Hillary Clinton said in 2013, we needed to have people like Donald Trump run for president. And she was right then. For the one time, she was right. And this is a race not just against Democrats. This is a race against Republican establishment. This is a race against the Jeb Bushes. This is a race against the Colin Powells. This is a race against the establishment that puts their own well-being before the well-being of the country. And it's about time we clean that swamp.
It seems like that elected establishment, or the elected officials that are in the middle specifically, the George Bushes, the Democrats, seem to all be controlled by the same people. Now, at the other end, it appears that Soros is controlling a majority of the Democrats, specifically Hillary, in the banking. So Trump is not getting the support from that element, but he is getting a broad-based support. It's going to be tough, I think. You've got the states, the really battle states, I think, are Nevada, Arizona, Texas now, Iowa, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina. Those are the states where the election is going to be won. What are you hearing there?
Well, I mean, to me, I don't believe anything of the polls. I see the enthusiasm gap that's going on between Republicans and Democrats. I look at the Trump rallies, and maybe it's just the fact what you see. But from the beginning, he's been drawing 10,000 people to rallies, and Hillary can't draw flies. I mean, Tim Kaine, had an event the other day. He had 30 people there. You have Pence is out there, and he's drawing 3, 4, 5,000. So I really think that there is a big enthusiasm gap. I also think that looking at what's going on, there's a lot of people like myself that are going to support Donald Trump, have supported financially, send a few contributions, but would not put a Trump sign in my front yard because right off the bat, the way the press has put out to a lot of people that we, again, are racist, homophobe, and the bottom line is we just believe in country. We believe in borders. We believe in national security. We believe we should keep our jobs here in this country, and we believe in putting America first. And so to some, that makes me, anti-American by standing up for America, which I don't understand.
So as we close out this session, three things. What's going to happen next week? That's the first thing. What do you think is going to happen next week? What's going to be Monday, Tuesday?
Well, Hillary has to do something to change the subject. So expect some October surprise or November surprise to hit Donald Trump. And it doesn't matter if it's true. It's just a matter if it's said. I mean, right now, the bottom line is the Democrats are coming out and saying that Comey is the worst thing in the world. He's corrupt. He's doing all this because it's politically motivated. But when he said on July 5th, that he was not going to go forward with the charges, he was the best thing that ever happened. To me, he must have been looking at something that is so gross and so illegal that he had to do this. Because like I said, there's a lot of supposedly FBI representatives that are getting ready to resign and said he's not paying attention to the law the way it should be. There are not two tiers of justice in this country. Martha Stewart went to jail for one falsehood to under oath. She committed perjury once. Hillary Clinton numerous times. And the bottom line is Hillary Clinton has done it for money, and she put country aside. And I just look at what's going on here, and I'm shocked that as a country that someone like her can even run for office.
Yeah, that's the one what if, what's going to happen next week. But now let's go and look at the two last what ifs. It's going to be, the first what if is going to be, what if Trump wins the election? The second what if is, what if Hillary wins the election? What will be the outcome once they're won and take presidency? For example, if Hillary wins the election, there's an investigation open right now. And will she be indicted? Can she be indicted if she wins the election?
Maybe she'll pardon herself, or maybe old Obama will pardon her. Who the heck knows? I mean, there's so many things that are open there about what is going to happen, what can happen. To me, hopefully we won't put ourselves into a constitutional crisis right off the bat. If she does get elected, again, she's been bought and paid for.
I mean, there's a good chance she's still going to get elected with the early voting, leading in the polls, even with the indictment hanging over her head.
Yeah, but the polls, I don't believe the polls. Listen, they had her ahead 12 points a week ago, and now she's ahead by 2 points.
Right. I mean, this election has gone back and forth constantly.
Well, every time, like I said, Trump is getting hit with 94%. of negative stories, and press supports Hillary Clinton by their financial donations in the 95%. And the people that are pushing these stories, again, they're attacking Trump on a constant basis. I stopped watching TV. In fact, Bill, I stopped going to the gym a month ago because I can't stand looking at the morning. I'm serious. I've stopped going to the gym. I will not go back to the gym until after the election.
That's the weakest excuse I've ever heard not to work out.
Hey, Bill, still there. They're still there, Bill.
It's raining outside. That's my excuse right now.
There you go. It works for me. It's raining outside.
Okay, so Donald Trump wins. He's gonna like the first thing he said he's gonna do is gonna just cancel Obamacare. We didn't even talk about that. That's huge.
There's a lot of things he needs to do. Number one, he needs to make sure that we take care of our troops, our soldiers.
Right.
Again, we bring 47,000 refugees over here and put them on benefits, so we have our homeless vets out there on the street committing suicide. And when they call the suicide hotlines, they get put on hold or they leave a message. That's ridiculous.
22 a day vets, which is horrendous.
It is. So God save the republic. Go Donald Trump. Vote America. Put America first. Vote Donald Trump.
So you heard it there is Bob Phelan calling in from Modesto, California. He's the Republican insider and hooked into politics, of course, in California at the higher levels and
I'm
in
an
local
establishment Republican because the
I'm
establishment.
surprised you have a job working in that
The
business.
establishment needs to go down because if they're doing nothing, they're not putting America first. They're putting their own pocketbooks first. And like I said, Paul Ryan came into our district. If I had the opportunity, I would have told him to support Donald Trump because in his own district, Donald Trump has a 63% approval rate amongst the Republicans, and Ryan has a 29 or 39% rate. He's
good to hear. That's good to hear. You're coming from Stanislaus primarily, Stanislaus County, Modesto, California. That's high. Central Valley. Central Valley is a weird mix. Interesting mix, isn't it?
Well, I'll tell you, if I had the chance to meet Paul Ryan, he'd have 2 fingerprints bringing back in his chest when he went home. His wife would say, "Where'd that come from?" And she could say, "Bob Phelan did that. What are you doing? Get behind our candidate, Republican Donald Trump."
Well, thanks, Bob. I appreciate you coming on today. We had some technical challenges, but always good to have you on, and we'll have you back. We'll try to do it next week and get a wrap up to the election for this cycle.
Keep America first.
Okay, go ahead and stay on the line. I'm going to stop the broadcast.